I read a post recently saying that after 15 years, crypto still doesn't have any utility. Is that right? Nope. Today we are going to look at 3 crypto projects that are bringing real-world utility on-chain, and those are on Algorand, Sui, and HBAR. Stay tuned for this on today's Frugal BC. By the way, guys, if you like this kind of content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now remember, you don't actually have to smash it. You can just press it gently, and it works just fine that way too. By the way, we are brought to you by non-fungible domains, bringing you that .algo address that everyone loves and uses. It makes doing everything on Algorand so much easier. And we are brought to you by Marcus Aurelius, which is a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain, doing really cool stuff. I love both of these projects. That's why I partnered with them. So go check them out in the link below. But we also have channel memberships, by the way, and we got a new channel member video coming out this week, so stay tuned for that. Also, channel members at the lowest tier get videos before anyone else, so be sure to check that out in the link below. But enough of that, let's get to today's news. So I want to talk about 3 crypto projects, because I saw this tweet and it kind of drove me nuts. And I'm really not trying to pick on this person, but Illy on Twitter said we're like 15 years into crypto and there's absolutely no mainstream uses of it other than cybercrime and gambling. It's also slow, expensive fees and wasted resources. Didn't even spell resources right, but never mind about that. I guess maybe we can put a spell check on the blockchain for that, huh? I'm starting to think you guys are all grifting. Hilarious, hilarious. So I actually had a different response, and a lot of those stuff was Algorand based, but I wanted to come up with 3 that were kind of separated. So I have 3 different use cases for crypto. And the first one is World Chess has actually been using Algorand to mint results from its online platform on the blockchain for a long time. That provides security. It means that the results are verifiable and tamper-proof. One of the best use cases of the blockchain. But the big news, World Chess just announced that they are going to be coming out with a universal chess passport built on Algorand to transform the game for 600 million chess players. Let's look at this here. Because first off, in the past 30 days, World Chess generated nearly 6 million transactions on the Algorand blockchain. That's a lot, just from World Chess alone. And this week, they unveiled plans for a universal chess passport built on Algorand to transform the game for 600 plus million chess players. So this was developed in partnership with World Chess, and the idea is that you'll have a decentralized ID that verifies your credentials. In other words, if I'm ranked 1200, I will have that verified on my passport. I can take that to any platform that participates in this, and I think a lot of them are going to. And I can use it to, well, what does it say? A unified secure identity to verify your records, rankings, loyalty program, membership, reputation for fair play, and more. So this is just one. This is a real world example. Like, a ton of people play chess. This is a really useful thing. People have already been minting. I mean, that's, you can call it mainstream. I don't know. Maybe it's not mainstream, but I think this is a pretty big deal. Now, when you say real world, what do you mean? Do you mean, does it have to be something everybody's using on a daily basis? Not necessarily. I think stuff like this is what blockchain is built for. This is a big deal, and this is really helpful, and I can't wait to have my own chess passport. I want one. Yeah, I want to, because I want to keep my, well, that person at 1600 on there. Mine's more like 11 to 1200 on a good day. If I'm playing well, probably 11 to 1200. So I'm not the greatest chess player, but it would be nice to go from platform to platform and carry my ID with me. That's a wonderful thing. So that's just one use case for the blockchain. There's a ton on Algorand. I talk about them all the time. So we want to go to different blockchains, right? We want to spread it around a little bit. So let's look at this next one. And is that Pokemon going to be minted on the Sui network chain? This is really interesting. I came across this. Now I want to be clear, because some people have announced this as if it's a done deal. It is not a done deal, but it's heavily hinted at, and I think there's a really good chance that this is going to come true. So let's dive into this one. Tyler D says Pokemon on Sui. The rumor mill is working overtime on this one. Today, Pokemon Home had a privacy policy update, which includes a new developer, Parasol Technologies. Miston Lab owns Parasol and is also the developer behind Sui. Not too hard to start connecting these dots. And if we pull this up, right here, developers ILCA, the Pokemon Works, and Parasol Technologies LLC process your personal information in Japan. So I think this is one of the great potential use cases for blockchain and for NFTs, because we could see Pokemon cards minted on chain, which means they will be verifiable as NFTs, which means when you buy a Pokemon card, when it's minted, you can verify that it's an actual card. It's not been tampered with. It's not some fake. It's actually there, and you can verify its ownership. And that'll be great for collectibles because it turns those online ones into collectibles. Right now, I don't think there's a ton of value. I mean, you can play listen, I played Magic the Gathering, I've definitely played around with those cards, and you find like they give away a lot of free cards just because I think there's not a lot of value to holding those cards. They sell the packs, and some people can put money into them, and there probably is some degree of resale value, but in this case, verifying it on chain will make it so much more secure, and you can be sure that when you get a Pokemon card, it's like you can verify its pathway, so you can know that for sure it's a real Pokemon card. Great use case, and we already see this, by the way, not to get back to Algorand, but we already see this with TravelX, which is minting airline tickets as NFTs. Right now, 70% of all airline tickets in Mexico are being minted. That's pretty mainstream. That's like most people. If you're in Mexico and you're buying an airline ticket, most likely you're buying it as an NFT minted on Algorand. So just saying the precedent is here for this kind of thing to be successful, and then it makes it easier for there to be a marketplace, which is what's going on right now. If TravelX, you can actually sell your ticket on a marketplace. If say, you're going to go somewhere and you got to change your plans. This makes it so much easier. So this could be the same for Pokemon. This is why I want to talk about this. But that is not all, because a lot of people probably think when you think utility, you think stuff like payments. And I know I've talked about Hasab Pay in Afghanistan, which is kind of a PayPal in Afghanistan. Like 30% of electricity bills in Afghanistan are paid on this platform. Wonderful thing. And it's bringing inclusivity to, don't get triggered by that word now. I just mean like people who generally don't have access, like women they have a really tough time accessing financial services in Afghanistan. This helps them with that, helps them get access. So that's a wonderful thing. But HBAR, Hedera, you guys know I'm a big Hedera fan. HBAR making a PayPal competitor to Circle, with Circle, not to Circle, with Circle. You guys got to check this out for sure. This is from my buddy Sean S. on here. He says, breaking source claims that HBAR and Circle are working on a PayPal competitor with Hedera Council member Google. USDC liquidity on HBAR has been exploding now, and now an insider claims that Google, Circle, and Hedera are working on a new Google Pay app built on Circle and Hedera stablecoin infrastructure. The app would directly compete with PayPal and their new stablecoin PYUSD, whilst also covering payments for Google Cloud services. Cryptid Interactions, hello world, it's a good morning for USDC. GM. So big possibility. He says doesn't square with this. I'm like, well, actually, why, what do you mean it doesn't square with that? Coinbase and PayPal versus Circle and HBAR and Google. Now, Google being a governing council member makes me think that this news has a lot of credibility, because it would definitely make sense, and this would be a good thing for everybody involved. So, definitely not confirmed yet, but this could be really big stuff. And, payments, I hate to keep going back to Algorand. Well, no, I don't. But Algorand is currently working on a partnership with MasterCard and it's going to be live soon in some countries, and by next year it'll be live everywhere, where you can use your Para wallet at any MasterCard terminal, and it will work like a debit card and pull USDC from your wallet, which will save you on those credit card fees, and you won't get taxed because it's using USDC, technically the USDC Algorand version. And I think that's a really wonderful thing. It's something that's being worked on heavily. It's been tested. We've seen it actually work in the wild from some Algorand Foundation members who got early access, but it should be going live very soon to a number of different countries, and hopefully worldwide by 2026. And this will be a good alternative to that as well for people who are in HBAR and Hedera. USDC is like probably it's a really important part of the crypto ecosystem. So having this available is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so I want to make this video because I think there's so many different utility cases for crypto, and a lot of that stuff just doesn't get a lot of attention. People, for whatever reason, people really focus on price. They focus on the meme coins and, some of the bad stuff that happens with celebrity meme coins. But we have all these great things happening on chains like Algorand, HBAR, SWI, which don't always get the same amount of attention, but I think are actually building the future. Because nothing drives me nuts more than when I'm listening on a podcast and I hear people talking about future use cases. I remember one podcast I heard a guy was talking about the possibility of tokenizing real estate on the blockchain. I'm like, dude, it's already happening. Just pay attention to Algorand. And I think Hedera has a platform that's, I don't know if it's live yet, but I know there was a platform being built on Hedera doing the same thing. So like this stuff is happening, and this is why I try to focus the channel on utility, because I think that's the real key. You know, prices are going to go up and down, but the ones that are going to last are the ones that are making real utility for people who aren't like already crypto converts. You know, I don't know if Google's like a crypto convert. You know, they're not like just going, yeah, we love Bitcoin and, you know, to the moon, blah blah blah. Let's buy some safe moon. You know, they're getting involved on the utility side because they see a real value potentially to their business. And same thing with a lot of the people that we partner with or Algorand partners with. So this stuff is really important. That's why I want to make these videos. If you got another use case that you'd like to put down below, let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate the feedback. I hope you're doing well out there. I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.